Hey dear fashion bosses, how are you doing today? All right, good to be in your face once again. Right, so this is the style that we will be learning how to make today. Okay, it's a circle dress with a long zippers in front with this beautiful sleeve, the pockets and everything. It is an extremely detailed tutorial. Okay, very detailed. So if this is what you would want to learn, please stay to the end of this class. All right. But before we start, I'd like to say very big thank you to all our returning subscribers. We say we love and appreciate you. Like I always say, without you, there won't be a fashion boss. And if this happens to be your first time on this channel, we say thank you for stopping by. We love and appreciate you. Please do well to subscribe and then tap on the bell so you get notification each time we drop a new video. Hope you're liking what you're seeing. The dress is very beautiful. Okay, all right, so on this channel we upload sewing tutorials and headwear tutorials including short African stories. Okay, so please let's go straight to the cutting table if you are done subscribing. All right, thank you for subscribing. All right, these are the measurements that you require for the dress or for such design. The length of the dress. Okay, so the half length, you need your bust area, you need your back, okay, which is also known as your shoulder to shoulder, you need your under bust measurements, and then of course you need your bust span measurements. Okay, so basically those are the measurements you require for this dress. So this dress is going to have a half length. Okay, there'll be an half length, and then there'll be, which of course the upper bodies, and they also have the lower bodies. So it's a circle dress. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is to deduct the half length, which is the upper body, from the entire length. So the half length for this dress is 16 inches. Okay, 16 inches, that's the half length. The full length is 58 inches. All right, so if you deduct half length of 16 inches from 58 inches, you'll be left with 42 inches. Okay, do you get that? Yes, I believe you do. So having been left with 42 inches, you will add 2 inches for seam allowance now for the bottom part of the dress, the hem. So that will give us 44 inches. Okay, so I'm voicing this so that you would know how to go about, although we have a lot of videos already on the channel that teaches on how to get your how to cut a circle, which is also known as flay. Okay, and how to go about it. Okay, but for clarity prevention, there are people who perhaps this is their first time of coming, around and about things like this. I'm going to be really, really explicit. Okay, so I have my calculator and my marker. Hope you'll be able to see marker. Okay, so I said the entire length of the dress is 68 inches, right? Minus 16 inches, which happens to be the half length. You will have 42 plus 2 inches for hemming allowance at the bottom. So you have a total of 44 inches. So this is your length. This is the length of the flay that we are looking for, or the circle we are looking for. Okay, now the waist circumference, okay, is 32 inches. Okay, so we are doing a 360, but I'm going to cut it in two places because the dress is having a long zipper in front. So I'm going to cut the back panel and then cut the front panel differently. Okay, how be it, you can also go ahead, and then it's also going to have a pocket. So if it wasn't going to have a pocket, on the side, you can go ahead to cut your 360-degree straight up. But please know that when working with African prints has a limitation lengthwise. The length of African print, which is known as Ankara, is 45-46 inches. Now we are looking for more than 45-46 inches because by the time we add our radius to it will be more than 45-46 inches. Hope you understand. So we have to cut it diagonally. Okay, so we have to use the formula the 3.14 formula instead of the 6.28 formula, right? Okay, so that will give us half a circle at the back and then half a circle in front. All right, so our waist circumference is 32 inches, right? So what do? You divide your waist circumference by 3.14. So we have 32 inches divide 3.14. Okay, so what you have, see, look at it, 32 divide 3.14. Okay, so you have 10.19, so you can just approximate it to 11 inches because you also need seam allowance, on the side. So this will give us 11 inches. So this 11 inches, now I have taught all of this in previous videos. So this 11 inches, now you add it to your 44 inches. So 44 plus 11, you will have 55. Okay, do you not understand that we came about the 55? So this 55 now is what we are looking for, and then we are going to cut it in two places. Okay, so you fold your fabric diagonally like a triangle. Okay, your radius is 11, your entire length is 44. I've cut all of this. You can check the channel, you see a lot of videos on how to cut circles. I just thought I should run this by you guys again for better clarity of what we are working on. Hope this helps someone out there. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut my circle. Okay, this is it. This is the circle, guys, and then I have it in two places. Okay, this is one. There is the front, there is the back. I mentioned why I had to cut it differently like this. We are going to be having pockets on the side. The front is going to be having long zippers. So if you don't divide it like this, you may not be able to fix your pockets on the side, except you want to do an outer pocket. Okay, which of course is not what I may change my mind, but for now I don't want to do an outer pocket. So I have cut my circle. This is it. So we are going to go ahead right now to cut the upper bodies, which is the blouse part. Okay, so come along. So guys, we are going to draft the front panel of the upper bodies. That's what we are drafting right now. Okay, so I folded my fabric into two, like you can see. I've gone ahead to roll. I'm rolling my starting line. Okay, this is where all our measurements are going to start from. Okay, so after taking that line, I am going to measure my bust points. Okay, I measure my under bust points, and then I measure the half length, which happens to be the length of the upper bodies. Okay, and then I'm adding a 2 inches seam allowance. Okay, so I just go ahead right now to connect all of these lines together. So after connecting the lines together, I'm going to go ahead right now to input my shoulder measurement divided by 2. And then my armhole. My armhole is 8 inches. How did we get that? I did my bust divided by 8. Okay, so that's how to get your armhole, and then I connected the armhole line. Okay, so I'm going ahead right now to impute the neck width. So I'm going to do a width of 2.5 inches and a depth of 4 inches, and then I will connect with my curve. Okay, and then I come down by 1 inch on the shoulder line or the armhole line, also and connect it into the neck width. I haven't done that. I'm going to divide my armhole line by 4. Divide by 2 rather, to get the midpoint. After getting the midpoint, I'll come down by 1 like you can see me do. Okay, the next thing for us to do is to impute our bust band measurement divided by 2 across the lines, and then I'll connect with a straight row. So it's not a bust here, but we are going to do a dart deduction. Okay, so on the under nipple line, I'm going to come in and out by 0.5 inch, just a regular measurement we use for regular darts. Okay, the difference is that we are doing a princess dart cut. Okay, and then on that armhole line, I'm going to also deduct 0.5 from both sides, and then I'll connect into the bust span line, and also connect the 0.5 into the line on both sides. Okay, this is me connecting the 0.5 I deducted from the armhole line, okay, into the bust span line. All right, so we are deducting 0.5 from both sides. So that is that for the darts, and then I'll come down to the hem of the upper bodies and deduct 0.5. Just bring whatever I have there, which is 0.5 on both sides, down to the hem of the upper bodies. So we are done with our darting. The next thing for us to do right now is to impute our bust measurement divided by 4. But before doing that, we are going to create a side a side dart, a bust side dart. Okay, so I come down by 2 inches from my bust line, and then on the nipple to nipple line I came in by 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to connect from these 2 inches into that 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to be deducting 1 inch on both sides of the line. We're just trying to create a bit of contour for the bust area, okay, seeing that we are not doing a proper bust here. Okay, so I connect that 1 inch into the side darts, and connect this 1 inch also into the side darts, line. Okay, so that 2 inches making that we make sorry, it means that we are deducting 2 inches from our length. We have to replace it back. Okay, 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the right, so we have to replace it back so that we don't fall in short of our fabric, okay, our measurements. And then I extend the bust span line, which is our dart line, to this new 2 inches we just created as a replacement. Okay, I extend my armhole line properly, and then I'm going to impute my bust measurements divided by 4 plus 3 inches. I come down to the other under bust. I impute my under bust measurement divided by 4 plus the 3 inches. I come down to my waistline divided by 4 plus 3 inches. Don't forget, 2 inches is for seam allowance, and the extra one is for the darts that we are taking off, around the bust span area. So I just connect all of those lines together. Okay, and guys, basically we are almost done. So on this armhole line right now, I'm connecting my armhole curve. So on this line right now, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches, so that when we join, we don't have shortage of fabric. Okay, so I'm going to lengthen that line and then create a new armhole. So guys, I have detailed tutorials on how to go about these things, different tutorials on this channel. I'm just running it again in case there is someone who hasn't seen something like this before. We want to help the person understand. Okay, so after doing this, we are done. The next thing is for us to start cutting out. So I'm going to pick notch this side darts so that we'll know where to pick when it is time. So this is us when we're done cutting. So I pick this dart. Watch how I am picking it, okay? And this is how you are going to sew it, just like this. You sew it this way, okay, when it is time. I'm just going to iron it down, okay? You pick it this way and you sew just the normal way we sew our darts, guys. It's not difficult. So I get my pressing iron and then I'll press it down. This is not the right time to sew it. I'm just showing you how to sew it, okay? So after doing that, I just place it side by side. You see, it is equal, okay? Very, very equal. If we had not replaced that 2 inches, it wouldn't have been equal, right? It wouldn't have been equal at all. So guys, something happened. You know, there is a zippers, you know, on the dress, the front part of the dress, okay? So I didn't remember to, you know, include or allocate allowance for or create provision for the zippers. So I'm going to recut this, you know, center front part again. So I got another piece of fabric. I roll out my 2 inches for my zippers allowance, okay? I roll out my 2 inches for my zipper allowance like you can see me do. And then I will place the center front, okay, on it like this. Thereby, we have created provision for zippers in front. So I just do the necessary rolling, okay, and then I will cut it out basically. I forgot to include the zippers. I was still thinking the zippers was going to be at the back, but thank God I remembered on time. And thank God I didn't go ahead to slash the back, you know, panel when we were done drafting. So I just cut it out this way. So this is it, guys. I'll just go ahead to do the necessary lines, draw the necessary lines, and draw the necessary lines and do the necessary notching. So I'm going ahead right now to slit it open. So this is a new center front and this is the side. You can see everything looks proper and balanced, okay? Okay, so this is the panel piece for the back panel. I've gone ahead to roll my line, shoulder to bust, armhole line, shoulder to under bust, and then shoulder to the half length, right? So I'll impute my 1 inch as my neck depth, and then 3 inches, 2.5 inches for the neck width. So I come down by 1 inch and then I connect. Guys, this is just basics, right? So I go ahead to divide my armhole into two, just like we did for the front panel, marking out my bust span line, and then I'll connect it with a straight row, and then I'll connect it to the line we've made on the armhole area. Okay, so this is the back panel. We are not going to deduct anything. We just want that princess that effect, you know, on it. That's basically what we want around here. We are not deducting anything. Remember, we don't have boobs, you know, on our back or at our back. So this is basically, I'll just also extend that part by 1 inch, okay, so that when we are joining, we don't run short of fabric. Okay, and then I'll create a new armhole upon that extension, right? If you have watched the video up to this point and you've not subscribed, please I encourage you to kindly subscribe, okay? Thank you for subscribing. God bless you. So I'll just go ahead right now to impute my circumferences, my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 3 inches allowance, under bust divided by 4 plus 3 inches, waist divided by 4 plus 3 inches. And then I'll go ahead to connect it this way. Basically, guys, we are done with drafting of the back panel. So we're doing the cutting right now. You see, it's not difficult, okay? So once we are done cutting the fabric, we are going to use what we have here right now to cut our lining, okay? So this is the back panel. So go ahead to use this to cut your lining, all right? So I'm done cutting my lining. I went ahead to infuse fusibles into my fabric, okay? So you can go ahead to infuse any kind of fusible into your fabric. So this is the back panel. We're about to start joining all of the pieces together. So I joined the back panel, the side to the center, back, and then the other side to the center, back. So guys, this is not new, okay? I'm not supposed to be showing this process, okay? But perhaps it will help someone out there, I believe. Okay, so I am done with this. I'm going to use my lining to turn this back panel. So go ahead right now to join the front panel. So this is the front panel. As you can see, I have taken my side darts, okay? I took my side darts on both panel. This is the other side, okay? So this is the center front. Remember, the center front is 2 because it has zip, so we slated it open. So we'll join one side of the front panel to one side of the center front, and then the other side to the other side of the center front, okay? Just like you would have joined for your back panel, right? So I pin it down this way like you can see me do, and then I'll go ahead to stitch it. So I'm stitching the other side now. So after stitching, you go ahead to give it a very good pressing, and then use your lining to turn each panel, right? So I gave it a very good press, and then I'm going to use my lining to turn it. So these are the panels. So this is me using my lining to turn each of the panel, right? Please go ahead to ask your question if there is any. Like this video, share, give a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. It is very important, guys. The only thing we require from you guys is that you subscribe, give a thumbs up, give a like, and drop a comment. The comment you are dropping, as a way of encouraging us, is either you're saying thank you, I learned something, I want to request that you did tutorial on XYZ styles, and all of that. The comment actually is basically for you guys. Go ahead to drop your comments, okay? When you say thank you, well done, it just as a way of encouraging us also. When you subscribe and give a like and a thumbs up, it also has a way of for the YouTube algorithm to make the video to be visible to other people who would also require such explicit tutorial. So please go ahead to engage the video, okay? So whilst we are at this, I'd like to inform you that we have an ongoing class on how to make different kind of pants trouser. Okay, different pants kind of pants trouser. Okay, so that was me. I'm going to make that announcement. Okay, I was done doing the turning. So right about now we want to cut a pocket for our skirt. So that piece was measuring 12.5 inches by 7 inches. Okay, so the length is 12.5, the width is 7 inches on fold. The width is on fold, guys. Okay, so I just pick the piece this way. I open up the front panel of my skirt and then I place it this way. Okay, don't forget this, the lower bodies, which is the circle, is a circle. Okay, so the rectangular piece that we just cut out for the pocket will not sit on it just like that, so we have to push it forward, upward, like you can see. When I raise it, it's not equal, just to enable it sits on the circle shape properly. Okay, so I just go ahead to pin it down this way like you can see me do. Okay, you can see that there is an overflow excess on the upper part. We'll just go ahead to cut it off. So by doing this, it has enabled the pocket to sit properly on the circle skirts, taking the shape of the circle skirts or the lower bodies. Okay, hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I measure 8 inches downward from the waistline. I measure 8 inches downward. Then I'm going to come in this way by 2 inches. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to get my armhole curve and connect from that 2 inches down to that 8 inches with some curve. Okay, so after connecting, I'm just going to cut this part off. I raise it up so I don't cut my circle. Okay, so I raise it up and then I cut it off this way like you can see me do. So I do the same to the two pieces that we'll be using for this pockets, pocket to the left and pocket to the right. So the next thing for us to do is to fold in the side of the pocket this way. So this style of pocket is called an outer pocket, so we're actually stitching it on the outer part of the fabric. Okay, unlike the other styles we've been doing, or that you're familiar with. So I fold the edges using 0.5 and then I iron it down. Okay, just for the edges this way, the side, and then the bottom, because we are going to do a very neat top stitch on it, holding the pocket down to the circle piece. So whatever you are doing on this side is what you're also going to replicate on the other side. One pocket to the right and one pocket to the left. You can't tarry with minutes. So I just make sure I iron it properly so that it really stays in place for me to enable me do a top stitch on it. So on this part that we trim off, you're also going to fold it in with a 0.5, and then if your overlock is very close to you, you overlock the edge and then you fold it, you stitch it. Okay, you still have to fold it in, okay, so that it have a neat finishing and neat appearance. Okay, so you can see I'm doing a lot of ironing just to make sure that this comes out well, right? So I just stitch this way and then I come to the outer part and then stitch it down to the skirts. And guys, this is how to fix this kind of pockets. Okay, so once I was done with the skirt panel, this is the blouse. I've held down the zippers allowance. The next thing for us to do is to join both the front and the back pieces together. So I'm going to stitch the shoulders. I place it this way, flip it over to the other side, and then I'm going to stitch. I do this and then do replicates the same on the other part of the shoulder, and this is me once I was done, holding the shoulders together. So the next thing we are going to do right now is to take our measurement so that we can shape in this, okay? Or is to shaping it with a measurement or using a measurement. Hope you understand. So guys, I'm really very tired. Like, I'm extremely exhausted, but I just have to do this for you guys. I'm sure you can feel it from my voice, okay? The more reason why you should like, share, subscribe, give a thumbs up, and even say well done. So after imputing my measurements, I just go ahead to stitch it down. So this piece right now is for the sleeve, guys. The sleeve. I love that sleeve. So I just start by rolling out my starting line, and then I'm going to come down by 4 inches. And then I'll roll this 4 inches together and just leave it there. I'm going to come to the side and measure 2.5 inches. You can do more than 2.5 inches. It depends on how much fabric you have at your disposal as at the time, okay? So I connect this with a straight row and then leave it there. So my sleeve measurement is going to start from this line now. So I come down from my biceps using 4 inches, okay? You can actually use 5 depending on the size of the person. And then I connect my sleeve curve this way, okay? So after doing that, I'm going to measure the length of the sleeve plus 1.5 inches seam allowance, because we're going to use lining to turn it, and then I'll connect these lines together. So once I was done connecting the lines together, I'm going to impute my arm measurements divided by 2 plus 2 inches seam allowance, because we are going to turn it with lining. Once I was done with that, I just measure around this curve to get my armhole, my sleeve circumference, and then I went to added 1 inch seam allowance, and then I'm going to connect it this way. So now I'm going to connect from this point down into the sleeve curve. This is to give us that classic puffiness, on the sleeve, okay? It just has a way of giving your outfit some glam and elegance, okay? So we are done drafting the sleeve. We are going to go ahead right now to cut it off. So this is the sleeve. I'm just going to go ahead right now to do some notch. I'll notch the center, the up. I'll notch the upper parts, the center part of the upper part. I'll notch the center part of the lower part. I'll also notch this 2.5 inches line so that we'll know the amount of fabric that we'll be using for the pleats on the sleeve. So this is how to take the pleats, okay? So that's notched, didn't notch properly, so I want to make sure that it is really notching. All right, so I open it up this way. So our plate is between the notches, right? So this is how to take the pleat on the sleeve, right? We can also do this using a slash and spread method, but hey guys, if we can do it free and why doing a splash and spread? Some people don't get to understand so much pattern work, so I try to do what I can do using freehand method. So when taking the plate, I'll just use my pin to hold it down. So I took two plates to the left, two plates to the right, like a kiss plate, right? So I'll just stitch it. When I'm done taking the plate, I'll just stitch it this way, but I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and do it so you see what's, or you understand properly. So this is me on the sewing machine. So I took one plate, I took another plate. As you can see, it is facing the center. Okay. So on the other side, I take the plates also facing the center. So all plates are facing itself. Okay, so once I was done picking my plates, I'll just stitch it. So hold the plates in place for me. So once I was done stitching the plates and holding it, then I'm going to use my lining to turn the sleeve. On the upper part of the sleeve, we're going to pull some gathers. So guys, if you know this tutorial is explicit enough, kindly tell me what you feel about this tutorial on the comment section. I need your opinion. I mean your honest opinion. Tell me what you think about this tutorial, guys. Go ahead and drop what you think is wrong and what you think is good about this tutorial. So this is me arranging my lining, okay, so that I can use it to turn the sleeve. So I'm using a 0.5 to stitch. Hope you've subscribed, you've given a like, you've given a thumbs up, and you've commented. So once I was done stitching the lining to the main fabric, I'll just turn it inside out this way, like you can see me do. So this is me when I was done turning the piece inside out, just trying to arrange my plate and then give it a good ironing. So I was done ironing. I will go ahead right now to stitch the upper part with a loose stitch because we are going to pull some gathers, right? So when pulling the gathers, you make sure you pull the gathers to the tune of your armhole circumference. Hope you understand what that means. Because what we have right now is actually more than the armhole circumference. So you pull the gathers to the tune of your armhole circumference, making sure that you are giving emphasis, okay, to the center parts of the sleeve. The center part, that is where your puff or your gathers should be more, okay? As you can see me do, that is the beauty of the sleeve, right? So you can see it's looking all beautiful. All beautiful, right? Excuse me. So we're done with the sleeve. I'll go ahead to fix it on my upper bodies. So this is the front panel of the circle. We are going to slit it into two. Remember, it has a long zipper in front. Excuse me. So we'll slit the center part of this front piece into two. As you can see, I'm folding it properly. So I'm going to slit it open right now. So I also cut out a lining for this. It's the same circle, but it's not as long as the main fabric. Okay, but it's long. I'm also going to slit the lining the way I did to the main fabric. As you can see, I've slitted it. So I'm going to use it to turn the main fabric, okay? I place it this way, so on one side, so on the other side, and then after sewing, I'll turn. I do the same to the other panel, and then I also do the same to the back panel. So this is the back panel. Once I was done using the lining to turn, this is what we have. So remember, it's a 360-degree circle, but being that we have to have the back panel separately and the front panel separately, we now did 180 in front, 180 at the back. So this is us trying to join the upper bodies to the lower bodies, right? This is the upper bodies, sleeve fixed and all. So this is the back panel. So trying to get the midpoint of the back panel, the lower bodies will notch the center. And also notch the center to the upper bodies, the back panel, and then place notch to notch, which means center to center, using your notches, right? You pin down, you arrange properly, you take it to your sewing machine, and then you will join it. The same thing you will do to the front panel. Remember, the front panel right now is having two pieces, okay? So you join both pieces the same way we have joined the back. So this is also when we are done joining the back. So this is the front panel. So you use those two panels that we divided and you join it to the front panel. This is one of it you join. So this is when we're done joining all panels together. The dress is almost done. Almost done. So the last thing for us to do right now is to fix our zippers, guys, and we are done. Don't forget to overlock where necessary. So this is a very long zip measuring 39.5 inches. Okay, about 40 inches. 39.5 inches. Okay, so the way you will fix the zip is not the regular way where you have the head of the zip facing up. Okay, the down of the zip has to be on the upper parts, all right, so that you can open the jackets up the way you saw it on the footage. Okay, so this down part should be up, then the head of the zippers should be down. That's how to fix this. That's how to fix the zip on this style. So you go ahead to fix it this way. Do have explained it. Once you are done fixing, you give it a very good press. Okay, so whatever is left as the zipper allowance, which is this 1.5 inches, we'll use our hemming glue to hold it down so that it looks extremely neat, professional, and well finished. Okay, so I'm going to use my hemming glue to hold that part down, you know, so it looks excellent. And then fold the hem. I've already overlocked, so you just fold once and stitch on it. Give a very good press. Voila. This is it, guys. This is it. Tell me what you think about this dress. Tell me what you think about this tutorial. Go ahead to express your opinion. It's a free word. You see the sleeve is given, the dress is given. So guys, this dress is not actually for me, it's for a client, but somehow just happen to sit on my body somehow. Okay,